Hi Leo, I hope that you're all doing well. We are here with your reading, What You Need to Know for December. The first card that we have out is the Star. The second card is Nine of Wands. I get a feeling of being protective over a dream that you have. Maybe you feel in some way like this can just be a lot of energy being required of you. It can be something that you feel like is a more long, drawn out process here. Having the Star, I feel like you're on your path right now. You are pursuing what feels important to you. You are really connected with that part of yourself, really following your North Star here. Having Nine of Wands shows that there can be stuff sort of bumping up against that. There can be things coming up that could possibly, if you weren't so determined, sway you. But having you be standing strong in this position of Nine of Wands, it feels like a recognition of this being challenging. It feels like a recognition of a lot of energy that this takes, a lot of stuff that you have been through, and also feels like it denotes you not giving up as well. Like, this is my dream, I'm not going to give up on this, or this is my path, I'm not going to give up on this. This feels important to me. Throw whatever at me. I'm still going to be here, and I'm going to be giving this my all. So that type of attitude with this. When I see the Nine of Wands, this can be a time when you feel like it's particularly challenging. Like maybe you feel like right now it's a particularly difficult part of the path that you're going through right now. It can feel particularly challenging, particularly trying, and maybe also too just a recognition of, look at you, look at all you've done, look at all the energy that you've been giving to this, look at where you are, look at where you're standing. Look at what happens when you don't give up on yourself. I feel too like this is encouragement as well. If you're going through something in the month of December that does feel particularly difficult, it's about remaining hopeful and continuing to sort of believe in this and to follow what it is that you're doing. Some of you, you're going to be receiving a message. This will carry with it some type of news that you want. This can carry with it something that you've been hoping for, something that you've been wishing for. I feel like this is also too about continuing to make the moves that you feel most connected with. Like when you really do get in touch with the most pure essence of your heart, what moves does that encourage you to make? And making those moves and being very heart-led. Not in a surface level way. When we have Nine of Cups, this is very, very deep connection with what it is that you're feeling and moving aligned with that. I do feel like something is coming through, like some place where there may be, some of you, this can maybe be an award that you get, or this can be something that you're being given, or it can be like a message that you wanted to receive. The reason I'm saying this is because as much as this can be your energy, I'm also seeing this as being the energy of something else too, Leo, that's coming through. This Nine of Cups is feeling to me like something outside of yourself, where somebody is grabbing one of these cups and they're going to be coming through and delivering it to you. And this feels like it's connected with something that you want. So it feels very much like Like you're getting a piece of whatever this is, and it's being brought to you. And it feels like it's specifically dedicated to you or specifically assigned to you. You can also feel too like this allows you to move forward. Like maybe once this happens, there's an ability to move forward. Maybe where you weren't able to before. Like you had to like not give up on something here. You had to keep working through it, even though you could have felt like almost every which way there was like something going on that felt challenging for the most part. Because this feels, when I see Nine of Wands, I see this as an energy of kind of being like these energetic trials that we go through when we're doing something. When we have this star there, it is like remaining as hopeful as we can as we go through this, and as determined as we can, and like when you know that this is right for you, you don't give up on that, and so you keep going. Now having this Nine of Cups and having this Knight of Cups, this does feel like something being delivered to you that allows you to move forward. This can be a message that you wanted. It can be something that's being brought to you. It feels like it is specifically for you. And it will be connected with something that you want because the Nine of Cups are there. Like this, it even feels like maybe one of the things that you really want. Like having Nine of Cups, we have those 9 different cups there. Maybe there are, like if you go into your list of things that you would want, there can be multiple things there, okay? This Knight of Cups feels like one of those things that feel really important to you is going to be coming your way. But it feels like, it's not like we're going to take everything that you've ever wanted and just like dump it in your lap. This feels like one of many things that's going to be delivered to you, that's going to be showing up, that's going to be presenting itself somehow to you. And I feel like this allows you to move forward in a way where you can feel like this allows something within your personal life to be coming together here and to be moving forward now. So yeah, that's really how I'm seeing this. There's something that feels very like sky-like to me about this. Like it reminds me of a constellation or something, or like a fixed star. Maybe there's something going on astrologically. So where I'm getting this from is, if Nine of Cups is representative of your wish fulfillments, this feels like one of them is being grabbed and it's time for this thing to be delivered to you. And when this happens, it feels like it allows something to fall into place where things can now move forward. And this feels like it affects you somewhere in your personal life. It will have some effect on that. So this feels like something personal, something that has personal meaning for you. This isn't just like an external thing that's going on that feels like a little bit impersonal, where you're like, that's great, but it doesn't hit me on like a really deep level. This feels like something that matters to you on a deep personal level that will affect, for some of you, maybe even your everyday, having the Queen of Pentacles here. And you can feel like this allows you to move forward in a way that you want to, and you can also feel like it brings you into a position that you've been wanting to sit within as well. even though I'm seeing you be like, I'm not willing to give up on this, I'm gonna follow this, this is something that I'm doing, I'm not gonna surrender this, it's so important to me. You're really following your path here. At the same time, you can feel like anxiety about some things too. Overall, I get this feeling of I'm not gonna give up, but that doesn't mean that I'm not affected by things sometimes, in like the most realistic and simple way of interpreting this. It feels too like sometimes it requires some flexibility. That can be something that you struggle with at times as well. But also too, this feeling of I'm not going to give this up unless this is really like pride from my hands, unless there's like no way for me to continue going this way. And it feels like a matter of determination here with this. Like I feel you really digging your heels into the ground, like I'm gonna make this happen, or like give my absolute best effort of being here, of doing this. But yeah, but that doesn't mean sometimes you don't feel stuck, or that doesn't mean sometimes you're like, is this gonna work out? It feels like sort of bringing that aspect of humanity into this, of those things do go on, those things do continue to happen, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna like give up on this or anything like that. I wonder too if this like has you questioning things sometimes too. Like, am I reading this right? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this where I'm meant to be? There can be stuff going on with gratitudes as well. Maybe this is something you're going to bring into like a practice, a daily practice or something like that if you don't already. I'm also seeing you go through something in the month of December that looks like... It looks like there was something that you were figuring out, something that you were debating, maybe even something that was on your plate that you're going to be taking off of your plate, but only because you feel like this doesn't hold a deeper meaning for you. That's the only reason why this would happen. So you could feel like in getting in touch with yourself here on a very deep level, if there's anything that you have been... I actually want to clarify this first. Why would this be happening? Can you give me more about this, please? I'm here to state your case. Can you get one more card, please? Okay, here's the thing, Leo. If there is something that you have been... If there's something that you've been giving your energy to, that in the month of December you look at this and you're like, why do I still have this on my plate? But maybe you were keeping something on your plate because if you were going to take it off, you have to face something uncomfortable. It can be the time to be doing that. For some of you, this can actually be an interpersonal thing. This can be like maybe there's something that you've been doing or something like that. And if you take this, you do like this reflection with yourself. You're like, I don't want to be doing this. When I really check in with myself, when I really get connected with what I want on a deeper level, I do not feel like this is somewhere that I'm meant to be. And I'm really tuning in with myself here on a deep level. I feel like this is not serving me. However, why you may have been, and you can kind of know that already. I feel like it becomes more apparent in the month of December. what happens is that it feels like in order to entirely remove this off of your plate and to be solely focusing on what you want to be focusing on, that there's some type of conflict that has to be addressed. Whether this be you have a situation you need to work out, you have somebody that you need to talk to, or it just feels like it brings up something that could bring up some fear for you of like, well, what's going to happen then, or how are things going to be? And so it can be the difference between following your heart when you're really tuned in with that and making a move based off of that, versus maybe avoiding doing this, which I'm not seeing you avoiding doing this, but I just want to say what like both of these sides can be. It will be like either following your heart because you know that that's what you need to do, even if that means that you're going to have to face something that feels like kind of uncomfortable to have to face, or something you're going to face that you have to work out. Or you could potentially keep something on your plate because you feel like too anxious to address it, or too worried to address it, or to have to face it. It feels like the difference between like whether or not you're going to access your Mars energy and like actually it's not about whether you can pull it off or not. I'm seeing you can pull it off. It feels like it's about whether or not you allow yourself to go there. Because you can feel like there's a stagnancy and you're not moving forward, but that something has to be worked out if this really is something that you move forward with. I do feel too like you can be taking something off of your plate. Why you would be doing this is because you can feel like it's not something that you want to have on your plate. It's like every time, it's like, let's say you have a bunch of different foods on your plate, and it's like every day it's this one thing on your plate that it's like the last thing that you eat because you don't even want it to be on there, but you just like keep putting it on there because you're gonna have to address something if you take it off. Like there's something that you're gonna have to do. And so it feels like every day just like looking at that thing on your plate, and it feels like December is going to be the month where you can address this. I do feel like this is going to call you to action in a way where your solar plexus is going to get involved. This is like your willpower being involved in this. You can know to yourself too that the part of you that wants to be fixed here, the part of you that is like, I'm comfortable just with the habit, with the routine, with the pattern, with the familiarity, that part of you can be like, me, let go of this. But at the same time, when you really do this honest self-reflection, you're like, why is this on my plate? So I feel like you really do get answers about this. Ooh, I'm seeing that you're going to do this, and I'm seeing that it's going to be successful as well. Look at that. So you're going to be making a big move here in the month of December. I do feel like you're going to be, this is something where it will be brave of you to do this. It will feel uncomfortable, and you will be breaking a bit out of your routine. You can feel like you must do this though. And that can surpass the fear of not, or the fear of doing it. And like whatever consequences may come. When I say consequences, I mean like when you do something that feels out of your routine, or something that feels like it could switch things up in a way where it can like destabilize some stuff, but for something better in the long run, it can really be the time where this is going to be addressed. But there can be a part of you that feels fixed in your nature at times, And there can be a part of you that really like holds on and holds tight. I think in a way where you can try to control your environment at times, but then you look at it and you're like, where is my faith? Where is my trust? Where is my belief in my path and what I'm doing and my story? And then working with the anxiety, working with the parts of you that you're like, I can't figure this out, but when you actually can, like working with those parts of yourself. Prioritizing what you want on a heart level, on a deep, deep level, and figuring that out too. Like, what is that for me here? Making the move that you want to make. I do feel, again, like there is something that you're going to be taking off of your plate, because when you look at it, you're like, I don't want this on my plate. It's like you don't enjoy this thing being on your plate. And it's really going to allow you to move forward. You can feel too like this thing that you have on your plate, it's like a placeholder. It feels like it's just there, but it doesn't have substance for you particularly. And the question is like, why is that taking up space and why is that taking up room then if this doesn't have substance for me? Like it's not nutritious on a soul level. It lacks that substance. And getting to the point where this feels like a little bit after midway through December, this becoming just a very known thing, a very understood thing for you. Feeling like, I totally get this, I see the concept, I'm understanding it, and now I'm allowing myself to move forward. Where you could have felt like that wasn't happening before. I'm also seeing 6 of Wands here, so it shows you like really successfully moving forward. This is a really great thing. It hasn't been easy to do this. You're finally moving forward, and you can feel too like this frees something up for you to really like look into what you want and also what's possible for you. I feel like by you removing this from your plate, what you're going to see is that you have much more at your disposal and much more possibility than you were allowing yourself to see. Because before you could have been like, maybe this is the best it gets. Maybe this is all there is. Maybe I can't do more than this or have more than this or dream bigger than this. Like this is about it. And this feels like you're connecting with something that feels like it brings excitement into your storyline. I feel like it kind of leaves you in a space where when you take something off of your plate, there's that space that there's going to be an intention to fill it, but now you get to decide what you want to fill it with, and it's going to be something of your choosing. And you will be very happy with the replacement of that. So there's going to be this kind of assessing where you are, assessing what's going on for you on a deep internal level, making the changes that need to happen, and then it puts you in that spot where it's like you kind of have that spot open on your plate, and that's going to be the time where it feels like by the end of the month, you're like, what should I put there? What am I going to replace that with? But it does feel like the removal has happened by the end of December. Probably like from 20s onward, it feels, if I had to make like a rough guesstimate here. And then you will end December feeling like you have that spot, so open. And that can be the time you sort of leave December pondering, what am I gonna put there? All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.